I just got back from a long vacation in Asia. I've kind of posted about that in my previous videos. This is kind of the final or follow-up video to that. So I was actually gone for 2.5 months. And besides a couple weeks where I came home to work on reviews, aside from that, I didn't work on reviews at all. So I had a lot of time to think about what it was like being on vacation and some things I learned in the process. So the first thing is that earnings did not drop as much as I expected or I was thinking they would drop. During that time, there's a lot of other people who went on vacation and they kind of mentioned that when they stopped working, they kind of saw their earnings go down. And let me go ahead and actually show you what my earnings were. Okay, so if you look at this, this is actually May 17th to July 28th, 2025. So this is a year ago during the same time I took the vacation. So it was from May to July. And the reason I'm showing this is just as a comparison. So this year, during the time I was on vacation, I earned $42,000. Now you can see most of that is Creator Connections on site. But the total time of my vacation was 72 days. So with the $42,000 of earnings, that comes out to nearly $600 a day or just over $4,000 a week, which is about $18,000, close to $18,000 per month. And I look at the trends for my earnings on a daily basis, and with the exception of about 1 week at the very end of my vacation, earnings were pretty steady and great throughout the entirety of my vacation. So I didn't really see anything drop. I think that's fantastic news. Another thing I learned I didn't really learn until I got home, which is it's been really difficult for me to be motivated to start doing reviews again. Like honestly, since being home, I've just been in the habit of being lazy, not doing reviews. Just getting started again has been really kind of difficult. And honestly, I think if I were to do it over again, I would probably try to look for ways that I could be a little bit more busy on vacation or work on reviews somehow, whether it's taking some products to vacation with me so I can work on those reviews, or take some files that I can edit or something like that, because it's been really hard to find the motivation to start up again because I've been not doing it for so long. Starting up again, that's something I would change in the future for sure. One of the things that surprised me the most is I thought going on vacation for as long as I did, I would lose out on opportunities. But what ended up happening, and this is kind of interesting because if you've worked with agents or sellers before, usually they're like, we need you to finish this within 3 to 5 days after you receive the product. This is non-negotiable. You have to do it, whatever. So I thought for sure when I told people, hey, I'm gone for over a month, they would say, oh yeah, we'll find someone else. But I didn't have that happen a single time. 100% of the time when people asked me if I wanted to do this, I would say yes. And then after we negotiated price and stuff like that, I would say, by the way, I'm in Asia on vacation and I'll be here for the next 4 weeks, 3 weeks, 2 weeks, whatever it was. And 100% of the time people said, that's fine. We understand. Have a great vacation. Work on it when you get back. And I was really surprised because I always thought that everyone was like, it has to be done now. Can't wait. You got to get this done. And the fact that people were willing to wait really did surprise me. But it also kind of taught me, I think if people are watching your videos and they really want to work with you and they like your style, they are willing to wait. So that's great news. Now, going forward, I don't know how that's going to change things because I'm not going to lie and tell people I am on vacation. But I think when people ask me how long it's going to take to finish a video, I think I'm going to probably say something more like, hey, to get the B-roll I need and to do a good job and prioritize your video, it's probably going to be closer to 2 to 4 weeks just to set aside the time to prioritize that product. So I'm going to try that going forward, see how it goes. But I was very happy that people were still willing to send me products even though I was out of the country. This is kind of a weird one, but in Asia, where I was closer to the equator, and the closer you are to the equator, the less seasons really matter with daylight. When you're on the equator, you always have like 12 hours of daylight, I think. But the further north you go in the summer, you have more hours of daylight. So the reason I was thinking about this is where I was in Asia, it would get dark at about 6 o'clock every night. And I was thinking, oh man, if I was at home, it'd be 9 o'clock before it's dark and it gets light early in the morning. I have so much daylight. I think if I was to do a long vacation like this again, I would try to do it in the winter where I don't have as much daylight to work with, because honestly, the summertime is the best time to work on reviews. You have so much natural light that you can get a lot more done. You can work early in the morning, late in the evening. You have daylight to work with, unless you have like an awesome studio with lighting everywhere in your house. I think just the summertime's a great time to get busy and work on a lot of product reviews. And the last thing I want to talk to is just how important it is to have the right product and to do a video for it. As I was checking my earnings every day, because there wasn't a whole lot else for me to do, I realized that almost all of my earnings were coming from the same few products. One product in particular was making the bulk of my money and continues to make me the bulk of my money. And so it's just so important to look for those opportunities and try to make the best video you can, because if you've got the number one spot for something that's selling really well, it's on Creator Connections, that's going to be what earns you the consistent and good money. Now that I've had a couple of weeks to reflect back on my vacation, I think there are some things I would change. For one, I don't know if I'd do a vacation that long again. There were times where things were quite frankly quite boring because we weren't doing anything. We were mostly there to spend time with my wife's family. So it was all good. That was the main goal that we had. But there were certainly days where we just didn't do anything, and I was kind of wishing I could work on reviews, which is another thing I think I would change. Like, I was in the Philippines and it was really pretty, and that would have been a great place to work on some videos. Like if I had an action camera or something where I could showcase the surrounding area. I don't know, but I just wish I had a bit more to work on. I think it's always fun being in a new environment, and that kind of would spice things up with product reviews. So I wish I would have taken some smaller things that I could review or some files that I could have edited. And in the future, I think when I go on vacation, I'll try to do it more spring, winter, or fall or something like that, because I went during the hottest time of the year, which where we went in the Philippines, it was really kind of nice because it was 70 degrees and it was nice and cool. But here at home, my yard got totally wasted. My grass is all dead. Anything I tried growing in the garden is long gone. And I didn't hire anyone to try to maintain my yard or anything like that. I think it just would have been easier if we had vacationed in winter. Now, of course, that's kind of difficult because we've got kids in school and summers when they have off. Just some rambling thoughts of some things I learned. Probably not useful at all, but there you go. It was nice to go on a long vacation, but I don't know if I'll ever do it that long again.